For the first time ever, Plum TV and the Plum Mustang Sports Network would like to welcome you Mustang fans everywhere to exclusive coverage of the 2014 WPIALL Quad 8 quarterfinals. Tonight we come to you from Norwood Knight Stadium on the campus of Norwood High School in North Huntington, PA for tonight's neutral site second round playoff game between two section rivals in the Mckeesport Tigers and your Plum Mustangs. Both these teams are coming off very impressive first round victories and are looking to get a win tonight to advance to the Quad A semifinals. The Tigers from Mckeesport coming in this game as the 5th seed with an overall record of 9-1. Last week, the Tigers defeated the 12th seeded Mount Lebanon Blue Devils in Mckeesport 35-10. Last time Mckeesport made an appearance in the quarterfinals, you ask? It was last year when the Tigers were upset by the Penn Trafford Warriors and had their season end earlier than anticipated. Tonight's players to watch for the Mckeesport Tigers will be running back Khalid Hudson and linebacker Tymar Sutton. For the Mustangs, they come into this game as a 13 seed and an overall record of 6-4. And Plum pulled off the only upset in the first round of the Quad A playoffs last week as we get the kickoff from the 1-yard line. Going to be returned up the middle, and a big Mustang hit at the 21-yard line. And that is where quarterback Tywan Smith will start, along with star running back Khalid Hudson.
I mean, Jake, obviously Khalid Hudson's the key. Junior running back. You guys, I wasn't there for the first Mckeesport game as we were with our kids at a soccer tournament, but he's the key to the offense. They got a key on him.
Well said, Mr. Broad. First and 10 for the Tigers. They're going to start from the 22-yard line with Smith under center. They're going to give a motion handoff up the middle. Can't get a number right there. It's going to be number 6, Tymar Sutton, also the star linebacker and leading sack getter on this Mckeesport defense. Going to be second down and 7 from the 25.
And he's a junior also, Jake, so we'll be seeing these players next year also.
Yeah, Mckeesport next year will lose their quarterback, Tywan Smith. He's a senior. He's always been in this program for as long as, he's a senior, so seeing him for a long time play. Motion to the left. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, but stopped by the Mustang defense. Ball is loose. Who's got the football?
Mustangs.
It is going to be Plum football. It's a fumble for the Mustangs. I saw Soxman being the first one to recover it. Khalid Hudson with the fumble up the middle. And guys, this seems like deja vu. First possession back at Plum. Mckeesport fumbled on their first drive.
And Jake, the key to that play was the pressure up the middle. The first initial hit, I didn't get a number on that knocked the ball loose.
Well, Plum will start their first drive in great field position at the 37-yard line. We're going to see Soxman in first with Turchik to his right. And they're going to have Dylan Whiteman also in the game as well as an extra blocker. First down, Soxman to the outside. We're going to have a flag on the play.
Looks like it's going to be a false start.
It's a dead ball. No, it's going to be a neutral zone infraction on Mckeesport. Move Plum up 5 yards. It's going to be a first down and 5. Mustangs get some help and are easily in Chapel field goal range right now to start this first drive after the fumble by Khalid Hudson of Mckeesport. Soxman still in at quarterback with Turchik to his right. Looks like they're going to run the same play here maybe with a motion by Whiteman to the left. Here's the snap. Soxman will keep up the middle. Forward progress will mark him at the 30-yard line. Going to be a 2nd and 3 coming up.
Jake, we know a lot about Chapla's distance, but we're also kicking the ball now in 30-degree weather, which makes that ball feel like a boulder. So we know Jake is hitting field goals, obviously, at Connellsville, 51 yards. Might not have that distance tonight. Might be maybe 41 or so. So it would be nice here for Plum to get the first down and start milking some of this clock and keep Mckeesport's defense on the field.
Mustangs going pistol with the senior Zach Martin who has added a lot of firepower to this Mustang offense past couple weeks. They hand it off for Martin up the middle. It's going to be a big hit up the middle by Mckeesport. Give that hit to number 20, Tyron Bynum, who also had a very nice game back at Plum in the early regular season. Just for a quick reminder, Plum and Mckeesport played once already this year in a section game. Plum had a 3-0 lead at halftime at home versus the Tigers. We're going to get a stoppage in play. It's an official's timeout. And Mustang center Eric Trenz will have to come off the field with a bloody elbow, so Mustangs will have to put their backup center in the game.
It is a first down. They didn't need to measure, so Plum with the first down of the game at 10:03. And it will be difficult tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to get a shot of the Norwin scoreboard. We're squeezed in. Norwin's press box only has 2 windows that open. We're here for the Mustang Knights game earlier in the season. We filmed in one of the handicap sections. So we're up here in the box, a little bit warmer, but we will not be able to get a scoreboard tonight.
We'll give you closer updates more frequently. We have 9:48 left in this first quarter. We are scoreless. Handoff for Turchik, and the Mckeesport defense is going to stuff Turchik up the middle. Justice Smith in there on the play. Also give Tyron Bynum credit on that play. Going to be a 2nd down and 10.
Might have lost a yard.
Yeah, he did. Turchik will lose a yard, maybe a half yard, back to the 27.5. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. 9:20 and counting remaining in the first quarter of play. With the Trent's bloody elbow, Mike Caragino's now under center for the Mustangs, and also they put in number 77 for the Mustangs in. If you're going to throw, screen play to the outside, going to be for Nick Coxon. He'll lean forward, but not much going to be there. Tymar Sutton in on the tackle, and also right back in there is Tyron Bynum. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 from the 25 for the Mustangs.
Jake, I think if they want to get anything going tonight, they got to establish some type of pass game, because Mckeesport's defensive line is so good at getting on the rush that they have to establish something.
Yeah, Mckeesport forced 5 sacks on the Mustangs back in that game in October. So Mustangs looking for that pass protection too. Mustangs going with 5 wide, Fuhrer by himself. 3rd and 8 with 8:19 and counting to go in this first quarter. Fuhrer has time. He's going to step up and run. Fuhrer has some room to the 20. He's inside to the 18. He looks like he's going to be a yard short. It will be 4th down and 1, and immediately Coach Morgan sends out Jake Chappell for the field goal attempt.
Well, you got to establish a lead early on, especially when it came off of a huge turnover to start the game. If you get a lead, whether it be 7 or 3, all the momentum swings to your side right away, and that is huge, especially with the great defense that the Mustangs have.
And here comes Chappell on for the 35-yard field goal. The kick is up. That kick will be good. The Plum Mustangs take the lead here in the first quarter with the Chappell 35-yard field goal. Plum leading with 7:36 now remaining in this first quarter of play. Plum 3, Mckeesport 0. We will see how this Mckeesport defense responds, or excuse me, the Mckeesport offense will respond after the fumble by Kalik Hudson.
Now this is a point that I wanted to kind of stress earlier in the game. The Mckeesport offense, whenever we played them, scored 2 touchdowns through the pass, through the air. Now we all hear about their great run game and everything, you know, how they only throw the ball like 5 times a game. Well, those 5 times can come in key situations when they're in the red zone. So the Mustangs defense has to be wary of those passes, and they have to expect at least a couple pass places when they get in the red zone.
Thanks, guys. Quickly, let's remind our folks here with Plum TV that this telecast is copyrighted by the Plum Mustang Sports Network for the private use for audience. Any of the use of this broadcast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the express written consent of the Plum Mustang Sports Network, Plum TV, and the Western Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic League is strictly prohibited. Chappell on for the kickoff from the 40. It's going to be a short kick. There's going to be a return. Going to be by number 6 for Mckeesport. Nice return right there out in front by Tymar Sutton to around the 39. It was a short kick there by Chappell.
And again, we see, I think, Jake, because of the cold weather, Chaplet can't obviously put that ball in the end zone.
Yep. It seemed like this kick, that kick in particular, and then the field goal were very high.
Turn it down. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Mckeesport. From the 39, Smith under center. Motion going to be a fake handoff, and to the sideline, the 40, the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Mckeesport on the sideline. Tywan Smith kept it for himself and scores on a 61-yard touchdown run, and just like that, Mckeesport takes their first lead of the game.
And Jake, they were stacked up on the line right there. Mustangs tried to go up the middle, stop the run, and they ended around outside, so got caught.
First carry of the game by Smith goes for a 61-yard touchdown. Extra point coming here from Caleb Short.
I think the Plum crowd's stunned.
Low snap, Stork's kick is up, kick is good. And as you said, Mr. Broad, the Plum crowd has quieted a little bit. They are on our side where the press box is. One play, one score from 61 yards for Tywan Smith, and Mckeesport takes a 7-3 lead over the Plum Mustangs here with 7:21 remaining in the first quarter of play. You are watching exclusive coverage of the 2014 WPIALL Quad A quarterfinal matchup here at a neutral site, which, again, as I said, is Norwin Knights Stadium on the campus of Norwin High School. We missed the rain here at Mckeesport. It rained a little bit earlier today, and the field and the track looked pretty dry for the most part. But as we said, conditions are cold. It is under 40 degrees outside, so that will definitely play a factor in this game as Mckeesport's getting ready for the kickoff. Other matchups tonight at Gateway High School. The number 1 seeded Pine Richland Rams are taking on a section opponent of Plum's, the Altoona Mountain Lions, are the 8th seed. At Fox Chapel High School, Penn Trafford, the 2 seeds, taking on the 7th seed North Allegheny. And another game at North Allegheny tonight, it's a big one. Central Catholic Woodland Hills, a classic matchup. Squib kick by Shork will be fielded by Soxman at the 14-yard line, and a big hit and a flag on the play. That was a big hit right there by number 12, Breon Green. Late flag on the play from the side judge. We'll get the call from the head official right here. It's going to be a illegal block in the back on the Mustangs. Back them up half the distance to the goal.
And exactly what Plum didn't want here. I was wondering if one of the up guys would have snagged that ball, but it came the whole way back, probably instructed by Coach Morgan, let it come back to the return guys. And sure enough, Plum starts at their own 10-yard line. We will see Will Fuhr this time under center.
Speaking of Matt Morgan, I think I might have told you already, he was named the 2014 Pittsburgh Sports Report Coach of the Year this week. Morgan, congratulations to Coach Morgan with that honor he received this week. Well deserved. Fuhr, handoff for Martin. Martin gets to the outside, cuts back inside. And he'll get around 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from the 11. Now just under 7 minutes in the first quarter of play. Mckeesport 7, Plum 3. As we've seen the past 4 weeks now, Zach Martin, the senior, getting the majority of the carries for the Mustangs in the backfield when Soxman's not in and when Soxman's in. Martin with 3 touchdowns in 3 consecutive weeks. Here's a snap, and we're going to have a flag on the play.
Mustangs are backing up.
It's going to be a dead ball, false start on the offense. Back Plum up 5 yards. It's going to be now 2nd down, and they'll call it 13 from the 6-yard line. The Mustangs have to get to the 19 for a 1st down.
This is exactly what the Tigers want to put Plum. We do have, looks like single coverage on the receivers here also.
Too deep. Maybe some type of cover too.
They're going to motion Nolan to the right. There's a snap, low snap. Fury will throw. Pass is going to be completed to Teeter. No, incomplete. Hit the ground. Late call there by the ref. They're going to say Teeter's ball hit the ground. It was actually Jason Hubner in there. The ball hit the ground, incomplete. Going to be a long third down here for the Mustangs. And Mr. Broad, is this a run situation right here?
You know what? I would probably say yes. We're at 6:04 left to go here in the game, but Matt Morgan's always, and the coaching staff at Plum, has always been one to go for it a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a 8, 9, 10-yard pass, and just to give up to Zach Nolan maybe some room to punt.
Fuhrer will throw. Pass is completed to Hubner this time, and he will get to the 13-yard line. Going to be a gain of 8. Still fourth down, though, for the Mustangs, and they will bring the punt team out for the first time this evening, led by punter Zach Nolan. Back to return for Mckeesport's number 2, Jordan Payne, the senior.
Jake, going back to that offense, a huge blow to that offensive line tonight is number 71, Jake Tessick. It'll be interesting to see how they respond without him on the line there.
Nolan's going to punt. It's a nice line drive kick. Payne will return from the 47. He gets up the middle, and a big hit by the Mustangs right there. That's the senior Anthony Rendy with a massive hit at the 38-yard line on Jordan Payne. Nonetheless, Payne puts Mckeesport in good field position at the 38-yard line. Well, on the last drive, we saw Mckeesport one play, one score from 61 yards out.
Yeah, Plum's going to have a defensive stand here. They do not want to get down by 2 scores in the first quarter. But we have seen this Mustang team fight back and battle back, so it's not out of the question if that would happen. But Plum's defense really needs to make a stand.
Tigers are going to
It's like an offset line.
Good call. Going to be the ball, and the ball's loose.
This Plum ball? Is that what the ref?
No, they're holding up a 2, second down. I thought the official closest to the ball and held his hand out, but they're going to call it second down as Smith ended up keeping it, and he was hit on the line there. Looked like number 85, Zach Nolan, with the initial hit on Smith and jarred the ball loose, but actually Taiwan Smith recovered that right back. And it'll be a second down and 10. Mckeesport does not gain any yards there. They motion. It's going to be stopped. Nice defensive play. That is the senior Nick Poprocky, who had a big fumble recovery last week for the Mustangs. Smith kept it and lost 2. Here's a third down and 12, and we've seen longer third downs go for a run still for Mckeesport here.
Yes, I was going to say, this is where they might actually have 2 wide receivers to suck that other Plum defender off the line, thus opening up a run lane for Mckeesport to shoot through. So this is definitely not a passing down for the Tigers.
And Jake, always love to see when the Mustangs go with that 3 cornerback DB set with all the big guys on the field there.
They did bring out their, not to interrupt you, they did bring their tight end out of the game. They have 2 receivers now. Going to be a handoff up the middle for Khalik Hudson. Hudson will get to the 32. He gets a gain of 7. It will be a 4th down and 4, and from all intents and purposes, with head coach George Smith, Mckeesport will go for it here on a 4th down.
Yeah, too short to punt, too long for a field goal in this cold weather, so which is probably why Coach Smith decided to run on that play. So it's 4th and it looks like a long 4th. Have to get to the Plum 28. The ball is the 32.5-yard line.
With 3:20 and counting, big play right here for both teams. This is the first biggest play of the day. Play clock down to 1.
Delay game.
Play clock is dead, and they caught it. The side official caught it. It is going to be a delay of game on Mckeesport,
which might now force the Tigers to punt.
We will see here what George Smith decides to do. He is furious right now on the Mckeesport sideline, and they are going to send out the punt team. So a little blessing right there for the Mustangs as Mckeesport will now punt from their, 37.5-yard line.
And Jake, that's a discipline call here. That just shouldn't happen. especially on a 4th down like that.
Now their punters, their quarterback, Tywan Smith.
Watch for the fake.
Here's the snap, and Smith will punt it off. Almost blocked by Nolan. Mustangs are going to let it go, and it's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback. So that went great there for the Mustangs as we are at 3:03 remaining in the first quarter of play. Mckeesport Tigers 7, Plum 3.
I think that's exactly what Coach Morgan envisioned. With 5:19 left, he had to punt the ball to Mckeesport. They had it almost in Plum's red zone at the 37-38-yard line. Was hoping for a defensive stand. Mckeesport to punt the ball, for it to bounce into the end zone, and now Plum starts with a new set of downs. 3:03 left in the first quarter. Mustangs down 7-3, but with a fresh set of downs.
And Jake, you have to think that that Rendy hit might have lit a fire into him.
Trenz is back under center. Whiteman with motion. Soxman's in the game. Fakes the handoff. Soxman goes up the middle. Leans forward. Good gain there by Soxman. He'll get around 4. It's going to be 2nd down and 6. We saw the running tandem last week of Soxman and Martin go for over 120 yards rushing combined between the two of them and a touchdown. Also, they had 36 carries combined. And for all intents and purposes, as we've seen early here, Mustangs going with that run-first approach with the run offense they have as Nick Coxon's going to rush back in there, and we are going to have a timeout, Plum.
There's 8 seconds left on the 25-second shot clock.
Seemed like a little miscommunication there. And as we have a second here, we'd like to remind you that this telecast will be reproduced, and you will see this broadcast soon. We are broadcasting at times of 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, we broadcast all of our sports videos at 12 p.m. and 7 p.m. So stay tuned for our telecast. You will see this broadcast soon.
And with the Plum victory tonight, I do have permission to loop the broadcast continuously over the weekend. So if you choose not to watch a Steeler game, you can watch the Plum football game.
Steelers now tied for first place in the AFC North with the Cleveland Browns with their blowout win over the Bengals last night.
Pains me to hear that, Richie, but it is true. Mustangs have a 2nd down and 6. Fuhrer has time. Ball deflected and intercepted by Khalil Hudson. Ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. He was looking deep. He had Crossy on a crossing pattern, but it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. And the ball was tipped by Tyron Bynum, who we've seen a lot of tonight on the defensive side of the ball. And Khalil Hudson will get the interception. And this time a Plum turnover puts Mckeesport in good field position here.
Yes, they're almost in the red zone at the Plum 24-yard line. So once again, Plum defense really needs to come up big.
We are at 2:24 left in this first quarter, which has seemed to go forever. Mckeesport leading Plum 7-3. It's going to be a handoff for Hudson. The 10-5. He is going to be down at the 1-yard line. The side official immediately ruled it down at the 2. Nick Robb was the one to get to him with a touchdown-saving tackle. And Mckeesport will be at the 2-yard line, 1st and goal now with 2:17 left in this first quarter of play.
They called a penalty?
We do have a penalty. We'll see
Coming way
the official
back.
come over here, yeah.
It's like a hold. It was a hold around the
Yes, it was.
16-yard
Yep,
line.
it was a
17-yard
holding.
line. So it will go back to the 27. Mckeesport has to make it to the Plum 14, so it'll be 1st and 13 for the Tigers. Big break there for the Mustangs.
Second big break in a row with the delay of game penalty and now the holding penalty on Mckeesport. Penalties hurting Mckeesport here early. Smith under center. Motion handoff up the middle. It's going to be stopped by the Mustang defense.
Behind the line of scrimmage there. Or no.
Well, behind the original
line of scrimmage.
So it'll probably be 2nd and 11.
11-ish.
Carry there first of the game by Mark Cromarty, who does a lot in the triple option for McKeesport.
Nick
Yes,
Jake Nick Poprocky just came out. Get a little breather.
2nd and 11 from the 25-yard line for the Tigers. Motion handoff will be for Khalid Hudson, who avoids a tackle, but now he'll be brought down back at the line of scrimmage by the Mustangs. I saw 70 get in there first. Mike Simboli for the Mustangs. It will be a 3rd down and long for the Tigers. It will be a 3rd and 11 as we are now under a minute 20 left in the first quarter.
I still think this is a running down, guys.
Yeah, I agree with two down territory here for McKeesport, not notably with a good field goal kicker. McKeesport can afford to run the ball here on 3rd down and a long 10. Under a minute left in this first quarter play from Norwin High School. McKeesport Tigers leading the Plum Mustangs 7-3 in this quarterfinal game. Toss the outside, ball's loose, and it'll be brought down in the backfield by number 28, senior linebacker Nate Turchik. That was Kyreek Sales right there who got the toss play from Smith. So it'll be a 4th down and a long 15 coming up for the Tigers.
I think they're going to go for it. No doubt.
They're waiting a call here from George Smith. They do have to run a play before the quarter ends. There is a 2-second differential between the play clock and the game clock.
You have 10 seconds left on the play clock, guys. They're not at the line yet. 5 seconds.
They have to run quickly, and they're getting out there. Play clock down to 3, and we are going to have a timeout by McKeesport with 4.6 seconds left remaining in this first quarter of play. Again, McKeesport 7, Plum 3. Play clock will reset back to 25. And does George Smith pull out a trick and go with the pass play right here, guys?
I would still go with the run play. They did it earlier in the game when they moved the run up and they tried to get in better position and try to do another run. But of course, the penalty brought him back. I would try and do the exact same strategy, put another run, and then if they get a lot more yardage, I'd try and do another short run and hopefully get a 1st down.
And then, Jake, for the Mustang perspective here, you have to think they're going to have to drop back at least 3 linebackers, run some type of zone just to make sure he can't get more than 7-8 yards. Wouldn't be surprised to see 3 or 4 linebackers in the box.
It's an interesting play call. They see that the Tigers, once Nick Spudsatovich has it, they do have 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 running back.
Out wide is Jordan Payne and Dion Webb, the senior receivers.
The whole Plum team's pointing at someone on McKeesport.
Tymar Sutton is the lone back in the backfield for the Tigers. We'll see if they motion. No, he's going to throw. Smith going to throw, got time. He's going to go for the end zone. It will be incomplete. Coverage back there by 84, Philip Marr, 24, Nick Robb, and also the junior safety, Patrick Crossy. Big play right there for the Mustangs, forcing a turnover on downs as we end this first quarter of play here at neutral site Norwin High School at Norwin Knights Stadium. Our score through 1 quarter, the McKeesport Tigers 7 and the Plum Mustangs 3. You're watching exclusive coverage of the WPIALL Quad A playoff quarterfinal round, brought to you by Plum TV and the Plum Mustang Sports Network.
And Jake, going back to that play there, that's cover 2 run to a textbook, if you can see that. Nick Robb dropping back into coverage, and then Patrick Crossy picking him up deep over the middle.
Now, can you explain to our viewers what the cover 2 defense is exactly, Rich?
Well, cover 2 is when you have 2 safeties deep back, and you have all your other DBs running man, and then the 2 safeties drop back and into coverage and protect the left and right side of the field.
Kind of
in
like
that case, in the middle.
Kind of like a coach's corner right there,
Exactly.
Richie, talking to you right here. Richie, I believe your uncle is the defensive coordinator at the Rutgers Scarlet Knight football program.
My cousin, actually.
Your cousin. I apologize to your cousin right
You're
there.
good.
Well, guys, Plum needs to get a couple 1st downs here. They need to move the ball to keep the defense off the field. And that's going to be difficult to do against this Tiger stout defense.
Fuhrer will take the snap. He has time. Gonna fire. It is incomplete, out of the hands of Ashton Teeter. Maybe hurt the footsteps from the Mckeesport secondary. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Mustangs. Being aggressive and throwing right there on 1st down from the 30.
Well, that is something that I think the Mustangs are going to have to do if they want to win this football game. Because Mckeesport's great in the run. We saw that. They're great at stopping the run up in the middle. And while the Mustangs have relied heavily on the run game throughout the whole year, they're going to need to rely on the arm of Will Fuhrer if they want to win this game.
We'll see what they do here on 2nd down. They're going to go a little bit of a jumbo sep in this pistol. Fuhrer takes the snap. It's a handoff for Martin, and Tymar Sutton will greet him at the line of scrimmage.
Maybe a yard, but I don't think, guys. It's right at the 30. So it's 3rd and 10.
And Logan, going back to what you said there, we know that Mckeesport's a strong team defensively. They have a good line, decent linebackers. But I definitely think the weakest part of their defense has to be their secondary. Because we can attack that secondary, and we've seen that so far in this game.
They have to have time to throw their routine.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a caveat. So.
Well, the last pass play they did, Will Fuhrer had a lot of time back there. The offensive lines played great.
Even without Jake Dussick.
And we had a jump on the Mustang offensive line. It's going to be dead ball, false start on the Mustangs. Back them up 5 yards.
So
and does that change the game plan right there, Mr. Brott?
No, it might make Will look for that underneath route to try, just like last time, pick up 7-8 yards and give Zach Nolan some room to punt. You know, Plum was able to change the field possession a little bit. They got outside the shadow of their own goalpost, but now backed up to the 25 here. Will has 5 seconds to get the ball off.
They're going to motion Crossy to the left with trips now to Fuhrer's left. They're going to roll Fuhrer to the left. He's going to fire deep, looking for Nolan. Incomplete, just out of the hands of the outstretched tight end. And Mckeesport will force a Plum punt here. We're 1 minute and 21 seconds into the 2nd quarter of play. Mckeesport 7, Plum 3, as Plum will punt on 4th down and 15 back to the senior Jordan Payne for Mckeesport.
Now, something we are seeing, like we said earlier, whenever they drop back to pass, the offensive line has been playing good so far on the Mckeesport strong defensive front. And our receivers are getting in front of their secondary and behind their secondary. So if they go through the pass game, they should get at least 3 more points.
And Jordan Payne has some room up the middle, but he will be dragged down by the shoelace at the 45-yard line. Maybe could have been a block in the back on Mckeesport, but no call nonetheless. Payne will get a return of around 12 yards into Mustang territory, where Mckeesport will start their next drive. Last drive, Mckeesport turned the ball over on downs back to the Mustangs.
We hate to say it, I've said it a bunch of times tonight, but the Plum defense has to come up big again. That changes field possession.
Mckeesport will start at the 41-yard line. 1st down, and we're going to have a flinch. Yep. On the side right there was a flinch by Mark Cromarty. It's going to back up Mckeesport 5 yards. It'll now be 1st down and 15 for the Tigers.
You know, guys, both teams are, I don't know if it's nerves, probably a combination of nerves, the cold. Both teams are pretty good defensively, but I've seen a couple turnovers, a couple false start penalties. So the team that's, I think the team that's going to win tonight is going to be the team that can capitalize on the other team's mistakes.
Well, both Plum and Mckeesport scores were both off turnovers so far. So good point there, Mr. Barad. It's going to be a double option play to the outside for Tywan Smith, who will keep it and will get to around the original line of scrimmage at the 45. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10. Now around 10 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the first half of play.
But now the difference is Mckeesport doesn't have the ball in the Plum 20, 25-yard line. If they're able to stop Mckeesport on 3 downs. A 4th and 3, 4th and 4 is going to force Mckeesport to punt instead of going for it. So this is a big down here. Mckeesport obviously wants to gain some positive yardage to make it 3rd and manageable.
Going to be a handoff for Khalid Hudson to the outside. And not much. Mustang defensive line right there to make the stop for only a gain of around 2. It will force a 3rd down and 8 from the Mustang 43-yard line.
They gave him a pretty good spot here.
Yeah, they did.
They moved him up to the 42 almost, so it'll be 3rd and 7.
And Jake, hopefully this drive right now, how the Mustangs defense is playing, hopefully that's a foreshadow that they're kind of figuring out that option and that little end around that Mckeesport's trying to run.
Well, we saw it at the beginning of the last time these teams faced that the run game wasn't much there for Mckeesport early in the game.
And we're going to have another jump, and this is going to be questionable here what these referees are going to call. I saw a Mustang defender jump. They may call a neutral zone infraction.
I think they are, Jake.
Yes, they will. Going to be a neutral zone infraction on the Mustangs. Move Mckeesport up 5 yards to the 37. It's going to be a 3rd down and 2. And I know, pretty frustrating right there by the Mustang defense. But nonetheless, they're going to see if they can get a stop here on 3rd down and 2. Sets up an easier advantage here for Mckeesport to maybe go for it on 2 downs. Hudson in motion. Smith, the keeper. Smith up the middle. Has enough for a Mckeesport 1st down to the 29-yard line. Give him a gain of 8.
He would have had the 1st down on that play anyhow if it was 3rd and 7. So we have a running clock, 8.5 minutes left to go. Just joining us, the Tigers, 61-yard touchdown run by Smith. Their 3rd play from scrimmage, 2nd possession. Plum with a Jake Chaplin field goal, 7-3.
Motion. Smith will not give it. We're going to have a flag. Man, yellow laundry everywhere here to start this first half tonight. Dead ball, false start on Mckeesport. Back them up 5 yards. They will now have a 1st down and 15.
Wow.
From a crowd standpoint, it seems like both sides have a really good crowd, about the same distance for both teams, around a half-hour drive for us from Plum.
Well, when they came to Plum, Mckeesport's student section was loud, and they made their presence known the whole game.
Here as well.
They are straight across from us. The Plum student section in white tonight is below us. They had a white out tonight.
Cool powder toss at the beginning of the game again.
1st and 15 for the Tigers. Smith is going to throw. He's going to air it out over the middle. Incomplete. Nick Robb is back in coverage. Pass intended for Khalid Hudson.
And Jake, there coming out of that zone coverage, that's great awareness by Nick Robb to come over, realize that there was a gap, and pick it up.
And Nick Robb came a far distance. Mckeesport receiver was open, but Nick Robb closed on him. And the clock stops at 7:51 left to go in the 2nd quarter. 2nd and long. 2nd and 15 for the Tigers.
Now talking to Nick, till he was in, believe, in the 5th or 6th grade, Nick lived in White Oak and has played football a lot with these players from Mckeesport. He's friends with a lot of them because I've talked to Nick this weekend for prior. I'll get back to that as the handoff off the middle for Tymar Sutton, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown Tigers. Tymar Sutton will score from 34 yards out. And Mckeesport will have a 2-possession lead here midway through the 2nd quarter.
It's sort of like the same running that we saw in the 1st quarter, just a quick burst right up the middle. And before you know it, Plum has their backs up against the wall. 14-3 Tigers, extra point pending.
Extra point last time by Shork was up and good down the middle. We'll see it again here. Snap, good. Kick is up, kick is blocked. Nick Robb on the outside gets the kick blocked and makes it a touchdown and a field goal game right now for the Mustangs with 7:46 remaining in the first half. Mckeesport 13, Plum 3.
And Jake, I don't even know if you remember on the previous extra point there, I believe it was Nick Robb, also had pressure on that one as well, just barely missed it. And then,
that
sorry.
could play, not to interrupt you, that can play big dividends for your team only being down 10 now instead of needing either a 2-point conversion, touchdown, a field goal, or 2 touchdowns.
And Jake, going back to that touchdown there, that was a great job of Tylon Smith there selling the end around as they moved the ball right up the middle. They had all the Mustang defenders going to the right.
Yeah, Smith made the right call, handing it off to Sutton right there for the touchdown for the Tigers.
What Plum has to do here, guys, they need definitely need a good kickoff return. It is imperative. It's going to be another scrim kick down the field. They need to grab that ball up close. They need to start a possession on the 30, 35 yard.
Now, you weren't with us, but I was telling you a little bit. The Mustangs had good field position against Mckeesport with these kickoffs with Soxman and Robb back. Soxman will start it from the 15, look for a hole, and he will get to around the 30-yard line. That's where we will see the Mustang offense come on the field, and Fuhrer will not come out, so we will most likely see Soxman start on the field for the Mustangs. First down and 10 from the 30. If you're just joining us, we have 7:39 remaining in the second quarter of play. The Mckeesport Tigers lead the Plum Mustangs here 13-3 in the second round of the 2014 WPIALL Quad A playoffs, brought to you by Plum TV and the Plum Mustang Sports Network. As we do see Soxman back in the shotgun.
3 wide set. Protector to his left.
Here's the snap. Soxman will give the handoff for Coxon. And he'll get some good yardage to the 35, give him 5 yards. It'll be second down and 5 from the 35. It's a new thing we're seeing now. Nick Coxon being in motion now on these shotgun plays with Soxman, and that could be a big weapon right there for the Mustangs.
Give a little bit of shake-up.
Scores here, guys. All scores in the first half. The North Allegheny Tigers with a 10-0 lead over the Penn Trafford Warriors. The Pine Richland Rams 7-0 over the Altoona Mountain Lions, and Pittsburgh Central Catholic 7-0 over the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
Low snap. Fuhrer is in trouble, and Hill will get hit back at the 25-yard line. Give credit right there of the tackle made by number 26, Taylor Anderson. Correction, tackle there by Tyron Bynum. Going to be a third down and long coming up for the Mustangs, and that hurts as they lose 9 yards from the second down and 5 spot they had.
So it's 3rd and 14. Once again, Plum in a 3rd and long. And Will Fuhrer is going to have to take a chance here, and Plum needs to get a first down, guys.
5 wide set, or 4 wide set here, rather. Sorry.
Fuhrer is Turchik to his right. Mckeesport has pressure, and Fuhrer's in trouble, and he is going to be sacked.
Fumble.
No, they're going to rule him down by contact. 4th down, going to be a sack for the Tigers. In there for the Tigers is number 7, Justice Smith, and also give credit to, I believe, number 30. Yeah, it is going to be number 30, Davon Brown for the Tigers. It's going to be forcing a Mustang punt here on 4th down and long with 5:41 and counting remaining in this first half of play. Back to return for Mckeesport is Jordan Payne. Good snap. No one gets the punt off. Payne will return right at the 49-yard line, back up a step. And a big hit on the outside by Kalik Hudson. There are 3 flags out on the play as he hit Nick Robb, and this will back Mckeesport up big.
And I don't even know how he could try to argue that.
Yeah,
He
that was
seemed to be
pretty obvious.
protesting there, and I don't know how he could have. Blatant.
It's going to be an illegal block in the back on Hudson, obviously. Back Mckeesport up 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll be first down and 10 as the foul occurred, I believe, at the 44, maybe the 45-yard line. Yep, Mckeesport will start from the 35-yard line, first down and 10. A penalty that cost the Tigers right there. Good field position. Smith will start under center. Motion going to be handoff up the middle. Sutton picks up the first down. 11-yard gain for Tymar Sutton, who scored the touchdown on the last possession. Mckeesport will have a first down from the 45-yard line. Now under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Mckeesport 13, Plum 3. Smith under center. Here's the snap. Going to be a handoff up the middle. Was it?
No, it wasn't off, Jake. Oh, we got a little scuffle here at the end of the play.
No, it was a handoff up the middle for Sutton. He'll get 1 yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. And by the definition of playing until the whistle blows, Mckeesport likes to do that.
Even after a little bit.
2nd down and 9 from the 46. Mckeesport has 2 timeouts remaining if they wish to use them at all in this drive. Mckeesport going with 2 wide with the senior receivers out wide, Payne and Webb. Going to be a handoff up the middle. Sutton has room and a good open field tackle by Nick Robb to save extra yardage as Sutton gets a first down to the 42. Tymar Sutton getting a lot of extra yardage on those plays, and the triple option right now is seeming to trick this Mustang defense a little bit, guys.
Well, we saw it a lot in the later half of the first game of the year. The Mustangs defense shut down the run in the first half, and then in the second half, the triple option started fooling the Mustangs a lot more. Early in the game, besides the 2 big plays, we saw the Mustangs defense pretty much shut down this run game. Now we're starting to finally see the triple option live up to all of its hype and start running down and picking up the big plays.
And it's going to be Khalid Hudson who stays on his feet, but the Mustang defense will surround him and bring him down. Forward progress takes him back to the original line of scrimmage at the 42. Tywan Smith, the quarterback, was down and gingerly got up after the play.
We got a timeout. Is that what it is?
Yes. Good call, Richie. We will have a timeout in Mckeesport.
We have a coach on the field coming over towards the ref here.
That is head coach George Smith, who is approaching the coaches on the sideline, and he is livid about something. I don't know what it is, but it is getting a little bit chippy out there right now on the field. I don't know why George Smith is standing in the middle of the field. We believe in, we agree with our stat guys here. Tywan Smith's been hit hard after the play, and the Mustangs, they get fooled on that, so they're looking to wrap up and tackle any guy they can. So they tackled Smith, and that's where head coach George Smith was livid about.
And they're giving a warning over here to the Mustang sideline, and Coach Matt Morgan doesn't look too happy down there.
Well, so far, we've seen a lot of hard hits in the cold weather of today's game. We've seen a lot of chippiness from both teams on both sides of the ball. So it doesn't surprise me that their coach is a little bit upset. But, it's taking place on both sides of the ball.
And this is a rivalry you can see start to bubble over as Plum gets back into the Foothills Conference with Mckeesport.
That's a withstanding rivalry all through the years. Plum Mckeesport's been a good rivalry that hasn't really been dominated by Mckeesport for the most part in terms of wins and losses. Going to be a handoff on the outside for Cromarty.
And again, we have a little bit of chippiness back there with Nick Poporaki, it looked like. And over here, number 25.
That's going to be 85, Zach Nolan.
Or 85, rather.
Some chippiness from both sides. It will be a 3rd down and 8 from the 40. Referees trying to control this game a little bit more, make sure nothing really happens in terms of fights and penalties. We're under 3 minutes now, actually at 2:50 and counting remaining in the first half. Score is still Mckeesport 13, Plum 3. Mckeesport has a 3rd down and 8 from the Plum 40-yard line. They need to get to the 32 for a first down.
Jake, if the Mustangs can get a stop here, get the ball back with 2 minutes left.
Here it is, the handoff. Gonna be stopped in the backfield. Good play by the Mustang defense. Khalid Hudson was the one who got it. It is the second team all-conference defensive end, Billy Bob Baird with the tackle. Big play for the Mustangs there that will force a Mckeesport punt.
Jake, even though Mckeesport ate up a lot of the clock there, we're getting the ball back with 2 minutes left. That's plenty of time, and we only have one timeout, but still.
And Logan, in emotional terms right there, that's kind of a win right there for the Mustangs. You would probably agree with me right there, wouldn't you?
I would. I mean, you've seen the undisciplinedness of Mckeesport so far. A lot of penalties have been called on their offense, mostly their offensive line so far through the first half of the game. A little chippiness, well, sometimes it could get out of hand. It's also a great way to get inside the other team's head. If you can get inside the other team's 10, then they start making bad decisions. They start turning the ball over, and it would bring a huge step up for this defense in this hard physical game.
And Jake, Mckeesport looks like they called their last timeout over there.
Yeah, good catch, Richie. Thank you for mentioning that. They're now out of timeouts. Plum has 3 timeouts remaining with 1:55 on the clock. Yeah, 2. Thank you, Rich. 2 timeouts remaining for the Mustangs. Back to punting for Mckeesport is Tywan Smith, who was walking gingerly off the field for the Tigers. From the 41, a 4th down and 9. They are forced to punt here. Here's the snap. And it's
really
a sky punt. And it was not Smith who made the punt. The punt right there was by Justice Smith. Good catch right here by our stat guys. As usually Tywan Smith is the punter, but now punting is Justice Smith, so that's got to be a key. But maybe Tywan Smith is hurt for the Tigers, which would hurt their offensive approach here, Logan.
Well, you got to imagine he's feeling some kind of soreness. I mean, so far we've seen a lot of big hits on every single one of the key players on the offensive side. And then you add in the cold weather, and we saw earlier in the game in the last play, he got wrapped up by 2 players. My guess is that hurt him a bit and shaking him up a bit, and now he's starting to feel the whiplash of all those hits.
First down, Fuhrer to throw, pump fake over the middle, complete to Hubner over the middle, avoids a tackle, gets a Mustang first down to the 39-yard line, a gain of 13. Hubner's 2nd catch of the game.
And Jake, that pump fake there had all the DBs and linebackers jumping.
Looking like MVP candidate Ben Roethlisberger right there with all those pump fakes.
Made famous by Ben Roethlisberger there this year.
Absolutely, Richie. Now the Mustangs at the 39, a completion of 13. First down and 10, clock has restarted. Fuhrer to throw. He's going to air it out. He has Teeter, incomplete. A little bit overthrown on the outside. Wouldn't have been a catch because that ball faded a little bit out of bounds. But are you surprised going deep right there, Logan?
No, I'm not surprised. Well, because besides the 2 sacks that they had on the Mustangs offense, the offensive line has played great on the pass game, and the run game hasn't really been doing much for the Mustangs so far. And we've seen earlier in the game that everyone from Zach Nolan to Ashton Teeter has been able to get past their secondary. I could be wrong, but I don't think many teams have tried and tested Mckeesport's secondary due to their great defensive line and the fact that a lot of high school teams like to run the ball a lot. If the Mustangs keep doing that and they get those big plays, they will get back in this game.
Snap. Fuhrer rolls out to the left. Pressure. Gonna throw. Incomplete over the head of the intended receiver, Jason Hubner. Will be a 3rd down and 10 coming up for the Mustangs. Difficult situation here. They do get the ball in the second half. Mckeesport has no timeouts. Do you think the Mustangs run right here and get the clock running?
I don't. I think they go through. I think they throw the ball. Even before, Mckeesport is giving up the short pass. That everyone was playing behind Jason on that play, on that throw. They can get a little quick pass, possibly pick up 10 yards, if not get at least 5 more yards. And like Mr. Barrat's been saying, get a better punt for Zach Nolan.
Well said, and we're going to have a jump. Yeah, there was a jump by the Tigers. This will help the Mustangs out. Dead ball, neutral zone infraction on the Tigers. Move the Mustang up 5 yards. There's the discipline we were talking about here. Mr. Barat and I were talking about earlier. It's now 3rd down and 5, and Mustangs can go for that short pass play for a first down here.
Well, Mckeesport has been really undisciplined so far in this game. Mostly their offense. I don't think there's been that many penalties called on their defense. But we even seen all the chippiness by both sides of the field, both teams, and it's just getting in their head. There's nothing else to it.
Trips to the left. Fury to throw on 3rd down and 5. Pass is incomplete. Almost a pick 6 attempt right there. That would have been Tyron Bynum, who knocked it down in and out of his hands. 4th down. And unfortunately, Mustangs are going to have to punt here with 1:17 remaining in the first half of play. Again, the Mustangs get the ball to start the second half of play.
And what a great defensive play that was. Jason Hubner looked open, and he just stepped right in front of the pass as immediately as it was just thrown. He called the pass perfectly and almost had what would have been a huge blow to this Mustangs team.
Nolan back to punt for the Mustangs. And it's a sky punt. Payne will not get an opportunity to return this. And look at this punt by Zach Nolan. It will be down at the 8-yard line. Mckeesport with great the Mustangs pin Mckeesport back inside their own 10. That's a great weapon we have within Zach Nolan as our punter. As Mckeesport will start from their own 8-yard line with 1:05 remaining in the second quarter. Mckeesport 13, Plum 3. Again, this is the quarterfinals of the 2014 WPIALL Quad A playoffs. This is Plum's first appearance in the quarterfinals since 1996. And Mckeesport is back in the quarterfinals for the second consecutive year. Plum last week winning their first playoff game since 1996 with the victory over the Penn Hills Indians. Play clock is down to 0. And it will be a delay of game penalty on Mckeesport. And they're most certainly not out of the water right here as that backs them up to the 4-yard line now.
And they're obviously going to run it. It's a shame there's not more time left on the clock because Plum does have 2 timeouts left. They can't stop the clock twice. Don't know if they'll get the ball back, but if they do, maybe one play, they should get it if Mckeesport does punt. But it'd be interesting if Coach Morgan and the defensive staff takes a chance here, maybe with a run blitz, try to knock Mckeesport back a little bit.
Motion going to be a handoff to the outside. Hudson has some room. He has some blockers. He will be brought down at the 15-yard line. It's still short of a first down. Make it the 16-yard line. Khalik Hudson will get around, I believe, 12 yards on the play. It'll be a 2nd down and 2 as the clock keeps ticking here. Under 40 seconds now remaining in the first half of play. Plum will get the ball in the second half. Here's the snap. The handoff for Hudson. Not much. I'd like to mention a quarterback change. Tymar Sutton is now running the ball under center for the Mckeesport Tigers. We do not have a report yet on Tywan Smith. We will get it to you as soon as we know. But right now, Tymar Sutton is running the snaps under center at quarterback for the Mckeesport Tigers. And right now, if Tywan Smith's out for any extended time is a big blow to the Mckeesport offense.
And Jake, yeah, they're just going to run the clock out here, it looks like.
Delay. They threw it. Why did the ref throw
Flag on the play.
It's way on the sidelines. I don't know if Cameron can get that. It's right there on the 13-yard line on the Mckeesport sideline.
There was a coach that was in the referee's face. I don't know if that has to do anything with
Still
it.
Is down there, Jake.
Still is down there. I don't know if Cameron
now he's on
can
the
get
field
that
as
on
well.
camera.
And he is livid right now. Then this has just been a chippy game. Did you see what the call was? It is on Mckeesport.
Got to be some type of unsportsmanlike conduct or something.
And we saw George Smith on the field a little bit earlier come the whole way across the field what Plum's doing is defensively they're staying to their assignments and they're hitting the quarterback even as he releases the ball, which is why we have a new quarterback in, obviously. And those hits
Mckeesport.
I'm sorry, Jake, those hits last a little bit longer when it's 30 degrees outside.
Absolutely, as Mckeesport's going to knee and take this into halftime. Our score after one half of play at Norwin High School is the Mckeesport Tigers with the 5 seed in this WPIALL Quad A playoff tournament with a 13-3 lead over the 13-seeded Plum Mustangs. We are going to give you the halftime shows from the Mckeesport Tiger Marching Band and the Plum Marching Band. Stay tuned for our halftime report.
Please give due to the music for the 2014-2015 Plum Senior High School Mustang Marching Band. Team captains is Nicole Lightfoot and Jordan Hawkins. Mid-career captain is Kia Crawford, and featured soloist is Kara Rocker. We begin tonight with this entertaining opener from Grant Clearwater Republic, Trout and Band. Six scores for you from around the area. Flint 38, Shenango 0. Shannon 19, Jeanette 14. Amador 21, Riverside 0. In AA, Alabama 28, Mount Pleasant 0. St. LaSalle 14, Highlands 7. South Park 14, South Fayette 13. Washington 22, Apollo Ridge 14. Moving up to AAA, Central Valley 28, Indiana 0. Ringgold and Hampton 5-0. Thomas Jefferson 7, Mars 7. West Allegheny 23, Franklin Regional 13. In Friday, it's got Penn Trafford 14, North Allegheny 10. Pine Richmond 14, Altoona 0. Pittsburgh Central Catholic 7, Woodland Hills 0.
I'll tell Rats too.
Welcome back to the Coca-Cola halftime report. Just to give you an injury update I received from the stat guys, thanks to Chaz Casil to my right. We have found out that tight end and punter Zach Nolan is out for the remainder of the second half, remainder of the game, I should say. So that is a big loss for the Plum Mustangs.
I didn't hear you, Jake. I'm sorry. I just put on the headset.
Zach Nolan is out for the remainder of tonight's contest. Then that is from our stat guys here up in the booth with us. So that's a big loss for
What
the
did they
Mustangs.
say the injury is? I see him right in front of me here. Richie will tilt down a little bit.
Talking to
since
my
he's on
stat
the
guy,
camera.
Chaz, did they tell you what the injury was? They say it
Number
is
85.
they said it's a head injury to Zach Nolan, concussion. Just to sum it up right there, yeah. So that will end Nolan's duties at punter. We might probably see Chapel punt now for the Mustangs, and now we'll see more of Dylan Whiteman, at tight end rather than Zach Nolan.
Sure.
I think it'll kind of be interesting to see how Chappie does at punting. We've never actually seen him punt during a game, but as a lot of the guys on the football team would tell you, he is a really good punter. And we heard over in the summer he went to a camp and he won actually a punting contest that was with a bunch of other kickers and a bunch of other punters throughout the state.
And we will get you our game summary soon. Just want to go through our This Day in American History. A lot of events happened today, a lot of election happenings because it is November. It is the week of Election Day, and we have a new governor in the state of Pennsylvania, Mr. Tom Wolf, new governor of Pennsylvania. Jeanette Rankin of Montana on this day in 1916 was the first woman elected to Congress. In 1944 on this day, which is October 7th, Franklin Delano Roosevelt is elected for his fourth term of the presidency, and we now know that there's an amendment that is now
Yes,
heating someone from ever doing that again. 1967, we're going to go a little bit northwest to the city of Cleveland. Carl Stokes becomes the first black mayor of a U.S. city back in 1967. And also, more memorable for us, I was 3 actually, to tell you the truth, back in 2000 on this day. Mr. Brott, you can remember this was the day George Bush and Al Gore had their election, and
it's a
there
biggie.
was not a winner determined on Election Day. It was later decided a month later with some controversial vote counting in Florida, which, as we know, George Bush won.
Jeb, right? With his brother down there also.
That was our This Day in American History, brought to you by USAA and the Marine Corps. Kickoff coming up here from Caleb Shork, and we'll see the Mustang offense be without tight end Zach Nolan for the rest of the game. Here comes the kickoff to start our second half of play. It is a deep one. Soxman will return the balls loose, but he'll pick it right back up. At the 10, look forward. Loose ahead. Soxman stays on his feet, and good field position to where he started with the ball with at the 25-yard line. That's where the Mustangs will start, first down and 10. Score is 13-3. Mckeesport leading over the Plum Mustangs. We'll see what Plum does on this first drive of the second half, and we have an injured Plum player down.
Soxman.
So it sucks.
That's a big blow. If that's
Yes, this is also, obviously, guys, a very hard-hitting game, and also the temperature, without a doubt. Those shots take a little longer to shake off, so.
sting a little bit.
Yeah, they sting a lot of it, actually, so hopefully Sox is okay. You know, I've always said, our old building principal, John Ratesic, he always told me if the players squirming on the field, they're fighting it, they're usually pretty good. And we saw Sox kicking his legs there. He said you always get nervous when there is no movement. So Sox looks like he might be okay. Maybe his belt rung a little bit.
Which he did. You saw the cavalry come from the Mckeesport Tigers kickoff team, and Soxman looked like he parted the Red Sea. There were 6 Mckeesport defenders, and Soxman avoided the tackle, staying on his feet, got about an extra 5 yards, but Mustang starting in the shoot formation with Dylan Whiteman out at tight end for the Mustangs. And they're going to do the toss play for Kevin Brown, and Kevin Brown with speed gets to the outside. Looked like more could have developed on that play, but Kevin Brown only gets around 4, which is a good chunk on first down. It'll be second down and 6 coming up for the Mustangs.
Sorry, guys. What Mckeesport likes to do is they like to put on second and long, third and long. They like to rush 5 or 6, and without a doubt, they do get after the quarterback. So I wouldn't be surprised if Plum tries to pass here on first down, if they obviously have, if they can get a first down here. So be very surprised if Plum ran it here, guys, on second and 6.
They motion Marr to the right, and Fuhrer will throw. Pass completed for a first down over the middle. And staying on his feet will be Jason Hubner, who makes his 3rd catch of the game. And all of Fuhrer's completions are to Jason Hubner. Hubner's 3rd catch of the game goes for 8. It is a Mustang first down.
They've obviously saw something on film with that quick slant over the middle. Would really love to see play action here, guys. See if Ashton Teetert's in at all. And he is wide right, single covered, it will look like.
Here's a snap. Fuhrer handoff for Nick Robb up the middle. Good gain up the middle. Nick Robb with speed gets 6. It'll be second down and 4. And as you said, Mr. Barat, they might have seen something. Mustangs are driving the ball well so far on this drive. We are 1:40 seconds into the first half of play. Mckeesport 13, Plum 3. Second round of the 2014 WPIALL Quad A playoffs. Guys, it'll also be interesting to see if Tywan Smith, quarterback for Mckeesport, will be back in the game. We will see next possession what they decide to do, or if he's able to play. Low snap. Fuhrer keeps.
Nope.
Leans forward to around the 38. It'll be a loss of 6.
Coach Morgan has to be beside himself. These mistakes, it's a second or third time tonight with the ball put on the carpet. And that's plagued Plum all year, but boy, when you really need to get 2 scores and you have 2nd and 5 and you've struggled to drive all night, that's just a bitter pill to swallow. So we'll see what Plum calls now. 3rd and 9, running clock, 9:25 left to go in the third quarter. Will Fuhr out of the pistol.
And single coverage on Humner to the left. We'll see if they go back to him here. 3rd down and 9. Pressure. Fuhrer throws over the middle. It is intercepted. The ball was tipped around by Khalid Hudson. It lands into the hands of Javon Shears. And Fuhrer throws his 2nd interception of the game. And Mckeesport has a big defensive stop here to start this second half of play.
Well, it's like a punt. Will took a chance going down the middle. Will's just having no time to set his feet.
And we have to wonder if that's due to the loss of offensive lineman Jake Tessick.
That could be, but we do know also, Richie, that Mckeesport loves to put pressure. 5-6 guys coming at Will when it's 3rd and long. So
Great linebackers on that team.
Mckeesport has a 1st down. Tymar Sutton is still in the game. Is a handoff for Khalid Hudson on the outside.
Fumble?
And he was down by contact, they rule.
And it's really chippy on that field down there.
Hudson loses a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 11. 8:44 and counting.
We saw
in this
Coach
third
Jimmy.
quarter
I'm
play.
sorry, Jake. We saw former Coach Jimmy Couture come up here at halftime, and we're talking about, hey, is Plum hitting the quarterback late? But in all honesty, maybe a second or so late. Maybe George Smith does have some. You know, he is right complaining to referees, but that's what Plum's told to do when you play against a triple option. Everyone has an assignment, and you hit the quarterback.
Handoff is going to be for Cromarty, and not much. This Mustang defense looking good to start the second half. Mustang crowd getting it into a little bit with the student section and the crowd chanting defense. It's going to be a 3rd down and long coming up for the Tigers. They are at their own 43-yard line. It's around 11.5 yards to the 1st down marker. And give credit to Simboli, who made the tackle on that play, who comes off the field here on 3rd down.
Jake, need to stop here on 3rd down. Got to get the ball back.
I'm with you, Richie. 3rd down and 11.5 coming up for the Tigers. Motion. And Sutton will keep on the option. Sutton has room. Tymar Sutton has enough for a Mckeesport 1st down to the 42-yard line.
Well, we saw that Mckeesport is not really doing good running the ball up the middle besides that one big play that ended up in a touchdown back in the first half. I believe it was their 2nd touchdown. Every other big run has come from the outside. You know, even their 1st touchdown, the big 61-yarder came from the outside. The Mustangs, while they're doing an amazing job stopping the run inside, it's been the Mckeesport offensive line that's been winning the runs whenever they try and run the ball to the outside.
Mckeesport has a 1st down at the 42-yard line. We are now under 7 minutes, 30 seconds. Sutton hands off for Cromarty. Cromarty on the outside is stopped by Patrick Crossy. Good play by Crossy. Cromarty loses a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 11 from the 43.
Now, Plum's actually been pretty solid on 1st down, 2nd down. These 3rd down and long, these runs have been killers, so to speak. You know, just gut-wrenching plays. Plum's hoping to get the ball back here. Honestly, Plum's going to have to get a stop and get a stop soon and get the ball back.
Sutton keeps it. Tymar Sutton, who's been running the ball well this game, gets it to the 35-yard line. It will be a 3rd down and about 3 coming up for the Tigers. Looking like 4-down territory right now because they have a short 3rd down. They've had a lot of success on 3rd down here tonight, especially running the ball with Tymar Sutton, who has a touchdown tonight.
Yes, he does.
The big plays were the 36-yard touchdown by Tymar Sutton. That was to give the 13-3 lead to the Tigers. And earlier in the game, with now injured Tywan Smith at a 61-yard touchdown, Sutton gives the handoff. It is not going to be enough. Plum is going to stop. I can't get a number on the back. It's Cromarty. Cromarty is stopped short of the line of gain. It'll be a 4th down and 2 coming up for the Tigers. And we'll see what formation they bring here, as they're going to bring the tight end Justice Smith out of the game and bring in Dion Webb, a extra receiver, into the game.
Jake, wouldn't be surprised here to see the Mustangs stack the tackle box here.
We'll see. Big play right here. Didn't even interrupt you there, guys. Fourth down and 2 from the 34. This is a make or break play right here for both teams. And Sutton to the outside. He will be close to the first down.
Yes.
It's at the 32. Depends on where they mark it. Looked like we saw early movement, too.
We did. I mean, the Plum player pointed also. I didn't catch the number, but the running back from Mckeesport moved the split second before the snap. Should have been a legal procedure. Obviously, no flag. I thought he had it by the spot originally. They moved it back a little bit.
And they're gonna, they are gonna measure here, guys. So we'll see. That's gonna be really close.
It's gonna be close. I think he has it by the nose of the ball.
I have to
Richie
agree with
zoom
you.
in here on the spot.
Got it.
I mean, Plum does need a break here. I think he has it. Hope I'm wrong.
Clock is frozen with 5 minutes, 20 seconds.
Wow.
Mckeesport first down
of the ball.
by the nose of the football.
Looking at it here on the thing, it looked maybe a little extra
By an
skin on the
inch.
end of the ball, yeah.
Nate
Little bit of
Churchick
pig
just
skin.
starts applauding, and is trying to rally the troops here and says, let's go. It's only a first down. We're down by 10. There's still 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
And a whole fourth quarter to play.
That's correct, Richie.
You got to take the field goal out of factor here, too. Mustangs can just get a plain stop here and avoid a touchdown. And it's two up the middle. It's Sutton.
Gain of about 5.
And extracurriculars. Flag on the play. 2 flags. I saw a Mckeesport player go in there late. We'll see what the calls are. They may be offsetting, which would do nothing to the down and situation. All it would be is just personal foul penalties.
They have to replay the down there, Jake?
No,
Yeah,
it was after
well,
the play.
Okay.
See, Plum, is that Nick Poprocky trying to sneak in there?
Nate Turchick
Yeah,
is
Nate
the
Turchick.
captain. He likes to get in there after the play over and, see what the refs are going to say here. It's going to be a dead ball, personal foul on Mckeesport. And will back them up. It's going to be canceling penalties as the Mustang bench is just upset right now.
Matt Morgan screaming at the 30-yard line. Richie, I don't know if you can get him screaming at the refs. How is that a personal foul against us? So upset. And Matt has to be careful here. He doesn't get a personal foul like the Mckeesport coach did at the end of the first half.
That wasn't actually called.
And you know what? I think the referees are making a message here saying that to control the game a little bit. Sutton with the motion.
there's a hold.
And looked like a hold on the outside, but right now, Tymar Sutton is in the end zone. Touchdown, Mckeesport. Tymar Sutton rushes for his second touchdown of the game to the outside. What a backbreaker right now to the Mustangs, as it is a 24-yard touchdown run by Tymar Sutton. And right now, Mckeesport can make this a 3-possession game with the extra point here. And man, did it just get quiet on this Mustang visitors or home side, excuse me. Extra point coming here from Shork. He missed his last one. Good snap. Shork's kick is up, and it is good. Mckeesport extends their lead now to 20-3. A little bit of deja vu right now here in Norwin. As last time Plum and Mckeesport played, it was Kalik Hudson who was getting a lot of the carries and scoring most of the touchdowns for the Tigers. But tonight, it has been Tymar Sutton at quarterback and at running back for the Mckeesport Tigers. In now for the injured Tywan Smith. Kalik Hudson really has not been a factor in tonight's game on the offensive side of the ball. He does have an interception on defense for the Tigers.
Sutton's been outstanding. Plum's down by 17. There's 4:46 left to go. They're going to need to get a score
on this drive, or worst case scenario, get it up past midfield, and if there's a change of possession, pin Mckeesport deep. They have to switch the momentum. Plum needs 3 scores, and it has to start now as we're past the halfway point of the third quarter.
And if we go to our flashback to week 2 against the North Hills Indians back at home, as I will tell you about it after the line drive kickoff to Kevin Brown, who comes with speed up the middle. Brown at the 30, and Brown will be down at around the 34-yard line. And extracurriculars, 3 flags after the play. Plum and Mckeesport were getting into it, and Matt Morgan is upset right now. Looked like Anthony Rendy and a Mckeesport player in it as well. Looked like number 58, Joseph Krim, in there for Mckeesport. We'll see how they divvy up the fouls here. Plum right now at the 34. It's going to be a dead ball personal foul on Mckeesport and also a dead ball personal foul on the Mustangs. Those penalties will cancel out, and Plum will still have the ball at the 34-yard line. As I was saying, if we flash back to week 2 at home, Plum was trailing 17-0 against the North Hills Indians at home and battled back to make it a 17-14 game. They had the ball on their own 50 with 2 minutes left, but they were unable to try to tie the game with a field goal as they were stopped short. So Plum is known this year for their comebacks. We'll see what they can do here, down 17 right now against the Tigers. Fuhrer will throw on first down pressure. The screenplay works for Kevin Brown on the outside. Brown will get to the 50. Brown stays on his feet. The 40. Kevin Brown's at the 30. He will hold on to the ball and be down at the 22-yard line. Look at the big play right there to start the Mustang possession.
And Jake, a touchdown here before the end of the third quarter would be big.
Absolutely, Richie. That's a gain of 52 on the pass play. The screen from Will Fuhrer to Kevin Brown. Plum in great field position at the 22. First down and 10.
And just to touch back on the flashback, it was the pass, I believe, to Ashton Teeter that set up that big comeback and almost a victory for them against North Hills.
Good call, Logan.
Handoff, Nick Robb. He gets a good gain up the middle to the 18. Gain of 4, second down and 6.
And Plum does not have to go hurry up, but obviously they haven't been this close to the end zone since recovering that early turnover by the Tigers. I don't think they've penetrated past the 20, so be imperative here for the Mustangs to get a touchdown rather quick.
Mustangs are in the Heinz red zone at the 18. Fuhrer, hands off for Robb. Up the middle.
2.
He'll get 1 to the 17. Third down and 5 from the 17.
And this is where we've seen the Tigers rush at least 5, if not 6, to give Will no time in the pocket. So it'll be interesting the call the Mustangs have here.
Now thinking here with 2 downs to run, because you gotta think. You think the Mustangs would kick a field goal here too if they had a chance, Mr. Brott?
Yeah, I think you gotta get all points no matter what, Jake. So hopefully they can get the first.
Would make it a 2-possession game. They need a field goal. So here's the snap. Good call with the pressure. Pass completed to Teeter at the 5. Make it the 4-yard line. Ashton Teeter with the catch, his first of the evening. A completion of 12 to the 4. First down and goal for the Mustangs with 2:39 and counting.
And while we've seen a couple Mustangs receivers get by the Mckeesport secondary, the Mckeesport secondary are playing back, and they are giving up those short passes. If they can keep throwing short and chip away at these yards, then they will be able to get, a score here and possibly more scores and get right back in this game.
Here's a snap. Fuhrer gives to Robb up the middle. He is not going to get much. If anything, they'll give him a yard to the 3.
This is where you miss Soxman right now. Sox could take that ball and at least pick his way for 2-3 yards. As Plum has it now With under 2 minutes to go, and we know George Smith is a very smart coach. McKeesport gets that ball. They'll want to take as much time off the clock as they can. You're this close now, guys. And Jake, you asked the question earlier. This is probably 4-down territory. You're this close, you have to get a touchdown.
They're at the 4. No gain for Nick Robb on the last play. Low snap. Fuhrer rolls out. Gonna fire. Incomplete as the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage by number 30, Davon Brown. It'll be a 3rd down and goal from the 3. They'll mark it at the 3 now from that last play on Nick Robb. And we see to our left corner, trainer Matt Gatesman stretching out Andrew Soxman a little bit on the sideline. If we get any report on him, we will let you know.
And guys, a little surprised here that they don't try to run something up the middle with fullback Nate Turchik on the goal line there and get those blunt 3 yards.
Not to interrupt you, Richie, we have a timeout from the Mustangs. Matt Morgan takes his first timeout of the second half. Give you a little recap right now. We have 1:31 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. Plum is at the 3-yard line looking to score. They have a 3rd and goal. Our score right now is Mckeesport Tigers 20, Plum Mustangs 3. Plum trying to make this a 2-possession game, either with a touchdown or a field goal. But we're thinking right now it is touchdown time right now for the Mustangs. And this is where they've come up on the clutch on these goal and these whatever and goal situations. They've come up big on 3rd and goal, especially this year, Logan.
Well, they do it both on both sides of the ball. Their red zone defense is great. Their red zone offense is great. And that's what's kept them in all these games and caused them to win so much games, is that no matter if a team gets in the red zone or no matter if they get in the red zone, they always find a way to score and they always find a way to stop the other team from scoring.
And not good again. The injury bug is hurting Plum. Dylan Whiteman now has been pulled out of the game and is now on the sideline, on the bench, being checked out by the trainers. He's in the game for Zach Nolan right now, who was hurt. Fuhrer throws. Pass tip and intercepted. That is going to be by Tyron Bynum, and that hurts for the Plum Mustangs. That ball was tipped, and that really hurts the Mustangs' chances right here now, as Mckeesport has the ball on the 6-yard line, 1st down and 10 at the 7 actually, and we've lost our breath up here in the booth. Mustangs try to throw for the touchdown on 3rd down and goal. It was tipped yet again at the line of scrimmage and intercepted by the Mckeesport Tigers. Mckeesport will try to take some time off the clock here.
Movement. Where's Spud at? He's been saying that the whole entire 3rd quarter, that their line moves before the snap of the ball. That's the first time they called that.
Almost every play.
I agree, Richie.
So now that'll be backed up. They're on the 7. They'll be backed up to the 3.5-yard line, which still the Mustangs can get a stop here and get good field position back for the offense. We have 1:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's Mckeesport 20, Plum 3 still. Plum with a great drive to start the second half for them, but was ended by an interception by Tyron Bynum, who's had a big day on defense so far for the Tigers from Mckeesport. It's a 1st down and 13.5 for the Tigers. Sutton will keep, and he's going to be brought down close to the goal line, but it's going to be a loss of about 1.5 to the 2.
Makes it 3rd.
He should be about the
And number 72 for Mckeesport is down.
Yeah, a good call there, Logan. That's Luke Eccles, who is the senior offensive lineman, 5'11", 235 pounds. He is down on the play, so we will have a stoppage of play with 1:04 left in the 3rd quarter clock. Again, it's Mckeesport 20, Plum 3.
Sorry, Jake. 2nd. Ready to say 3rd. 2nd and 14.
Yep, that'll be a big loss for this Mckeesport offensive line. The injury bug has been hurting both teams. As we've said, Zach Nolan is out for the remainder of game for the Plum Mustangs. And we have to imagine, we have not seen Tywan Smith Tywan Smith in this second half for the Tigers. He was hurt late in the first half. He has not been in the game. Tymar Sutton's been running the ball under center for the Tigers, which is a run-heavy offense, and they are down around Luke Eccles right now.
And now probably stating the obvious here, but you got to imagine that the cold weather is probably a big factor
No
in
doubt.
why there's been so many injuries here today.
No doubt, Logan. And, we've talked about that periodically throughout the broadcast tonight. Totally agree. You wouldn't probably be seeing these injuries the second game of the season at the end of August, beginning of September. So, missed opportunity by the Mustangs. It is almost imperative for the Mustangs to keep Mckeesport bottled up and get the ball back and hold them the next two plays. Actually saying 2nd and 17 now, guys. Clock should start back up. Oh, no, it won't because
Injury
of the injury.
timeout.
So Mckeesport's still running guys on the field, guys. There's 13 seconds left on the 25-second play clock.
They've been getting around the line of scrimmage with around 13 seconds left in
Got
the
to
play
snap
clock.
the ball. 4, 3.
2.
They moved again.
Snap. In the end zone. It is going to be into the end zone. Mustangs are right back in this game. It is a safety. And it's now looking, it is going to be a safety as the toss for Khalik Hudson went into the end zone. It is now 20-5 Mckeesport. They will come with a safety kickoff, I believe. Correct, Mr.
Yeah.
Barat?
Yes, that is correct. It will either be a punt or a kickoff.
Yeah, they have the option whether to punt or kick off. But that is a huge break for the Mustangs right here.
Well, we see the Mustangs defense has been thriving in that type of position throughout the whole year. As I believe, I could be wrong, but only PT has really been able to drive on them whenever they started the balls so far late. And even when they even played great defense against PT, and they only did that once in the whole game. I could be wrong. I believe that is the first safety we've seen of the Mustangs D this season, but they have been able to keep almost every single offense down there whenever a team gets the ball, a big turnover down in our end zone.
You're right, Logan. It is the first road safety for the Mustangs. If you remember back in Week 5, thanks to Chaz Casil with the stat right here, Mustangs with the 65-0 victory over the Kiski Cavaliers. They got one safety in that game. So a big thank you to also another big sponsor here at Plum TV, Plum Lacrosse. Thanks for being a sponsor of 2014 Plum Mustangs football. They are going to go with the safety kickoff here, Mr. Barat, with Caleb Shork. Mustangs will get good field position with the return from their lead return man, Patrick Crossy, has over the middle and gets to the 50. Mustangs at great field position at the 49-yard line of Mckeesport. We are at 48.2 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It is Mckeesport 20, Plum 5. And yes, that is correct, folks. Plum has 5 points. They had a field goal on their first drive of the game. And if you're just joining us, Plum just got a safety on a fumbled toss from the quarterback Sutton to running back Mark Cromarty. It was fumbled in the end zone and went out of the end zone for a safety. And you just saw Mckeesport kick the ball off to the Mustangs. Fuhrer in the shotgun. First down. Fuhrer will throw.
Wow.
He's in trouble
Come
trying to
on.
escape, and he will be sacked. In the backfield will be number 30, Dave Vaughn Brown with the sack.
Outside pressure is tremendous by the Tigers. Their defensive end, Tavon Brown, sophomore, just flew around the left end. And Plum will have to run a play here before the end of the third quarter. We have 10 seconds left on the 25-second clock.
And now 12 on the game clock.
5-second difference. Will has 2 seconds to snap the ball.
He does. Fuhrer rolls out to the left. Good blocking throw. Pass is incomplete out of the hands of Philip Marr, the intended receiver. 2.2 seconds left remaining in the third quarter. And it's going to be a big third down and 15 coming up for the Mustangs. Now, a situation will presume itself here if it gets to fourth down and long, maybe more than a 4th down and 5, you have to say.
Guys, I
As-
do not see Ashton Teeter.
He is on the field, Mr.
Is
Brock.
he? Oh, I just saw him right now. He wasn't in on the first down play.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of the junior Jason Hubner, who leads the team tonight with 3 receptions from Fuhrer. But another big 3rd down here for the Mustangs. 3rd and 15. This will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Fuhrer has time. He will throw. It is incomplete. And throw was intended for Philip Marr, but it was low. And a flag on the play.
That's in the area, guys, of unfortunately holding.
And if it is that, Mckeesport will happily decline the penalty. Although the refs are discussing something here. We'll see what it is.
Could be hand to the face if it's against the Tigers. Yeah,
And
no,
they're
saying declining
the
so
penalty. And
I didn't understand the symbol. It
it
looked
probably
like,
would be an illegal motion.
Or substitution. The refs put his hands behind his back, so that will be declined by the Tigers. That will make it 4th and 15 at the end of the 3rd quarter. And
The Mustangs and Tigers will swap sides here. Plum is at the 46-yard line. They will switch sides and go to the west end zone. We are going to the 4th quarter of play. Our score from Norwin High School, the Mckeesport Tigers 20 and the Plum Mustangs 5. It is a 2-possession game. Plum has come back from 2 possessions against the Norwin Knights, which was actually here. They came back from a 14-point deficit here. And also they almost came back from a 17-point deficit against the North Hills Indians that came short a field goal.
guys, I have some out-of-town scores also. Just Quad A right now. The Tigers and Warriors must be having a fun battle. It's the Tigers 24, North Allegheny. Penn Trafford Warriors 21. Pine Richland Rams, which will probably play the winner of this game with a 21-0 lead over the Altoona Mountain Lions. And the Central Catholic Vikings, that's the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings, with a 14-0 lead over the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
The new punter in the game for the Mustangs will be number 21 sophomore Michael Anderson, who is getting his first action as a punter. I have a quick shout out also after this punt to viewers who have been watching us since week 1. Anderson gets a good boot off over Jordan Payne's head. He will receive it for some odd reason, and there's going to be a flag, and Jordan Payne will be down at the 2-yard line, and Mckeesport will end up being at the 1-yard line after the block in the back penalty. This game just keeps getting more interesting.
Just a lot of cheap shot penalties tonight. We've seen them both ways, but mainly from the Mckeesport side, just discipline calls that shouldn't happen.
I agree, Richie.
There's just no way that helps your team out right there. Even if you want it from a momentum standpoint, how does that get you any momentum? Like, you know what I mean? It just pushes them further
it's
back.
a 1-yard penalty, but still it moves
Makes
you
all
from
the
the 2
difference
to
from
the
having
1,
at the
yeah.
2 at the 1. Exactly, Rich.
And I think if you're Plum, guys, if Mckeesport comes with a bunch formation, you have to take a chance to do a run blitz.
Quickly, Mr. Barat, we would like to extend our thank yous to the Sardis Volunteer Fire Company, station number 78, for being weekly viewers of our telecasts this season. Thank you guys for watching Plum TV and the Plum Mustang Sports Network. Thank you for all your service to all volunteer fire department servicemen, including the ones at Station 78 at Sardis. Thanks, guys. First down, Sutton. Hands off for Hudson, and he will give Mckeesport some breathing room to the 7, make it the 6. So it'll be 2nd down and 6 from the 6. As we are now at 11:33 and counting remaining in the 4th quarter. Score is still Mckeesport 20, Plum 5. Boy, if Plum could force the 3 and out here against the Tigers, things will keep getting interesting.
Yeah, it's almost imperative to force a 3 and out.
Or even a turnover here, Jake. That'd be big.
We're now seeing Kalik Hudson in the game in the backfield behind Sutton, who's at quarterback.
trying to draw him off. They moved again.
Handoff for
moving all game.
Sutton, Sutton actually keeps the ball. He moves forward to the 10. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Here comes maybe the 15th biggest play of the day for the Mustang defense. If they stop him with the 1st down marker here, surely Mckeesport will punt the ball because they are backed up at their 10-yard line. We have 10:40 and counting remaining in the 4th quarter. See what the Mckeesport play call is here. They only need 2 for a 1st down. Sutton's under center. And we're going to get a flag, and a big flag right there, guys.
Running back move. They've moved on 1st down. They moved on 2nd down.
And 3rd and 4th all game.
That's a big penalty also. A, stops the clock. 10:22 left to go in the 4th quarter. B, it moves them back. The scoreboard says 3rd and 6.
Should be around 7, Mr. Vrot.
Yeah, it was 3rd.
Actually, the clock restarted here, it looks like.
And they got to get to the...
the playoff here. They're going to have to use a timeout, guys. They do have all 3. There's 8 seconds left. They're not even...
5, 4.
Well, it's
3.
timeout.
Yeah, call a timeout.
Oh, wow.
That's
Coach
just,
Smith
again,
can't be
discipline.
happy there. Yeah, no, agreed.
Timeout, Mckeesport. They have 2 left. As they're at the 5, they need 7 for a 1st down. Penalties have been the story for both teams tonight. A lot of chippy play. It has calmed down since halftime. Referees have seemed to control it a little bit more. As we are here, 9:57 remaining in the 4th quarter. Mckeesport 20, Plum 5. Mckeesport has gotten 2 touchdowns from Tymar Sutton and also a touchdown in the 1st half from Taiwan Smith, who is injured and has not returned to the game. Plum's scoring has come off a turnover on the 1st possession of the game by the Tigers. It resulted in the 35-yard field goal from Jake Chapla. And on the last Mustang defensive possession, they forced a safety in the end zone. The ball on the toss play to Khalid Hudson went into the end zone, out of the end zone for a safety. And then now Plum has made it a 15-point game, 2-possession game.
I have a suggestion, if I may.
Absolutely.
Oh, Lord.
Thank you.
Here we go.
If I'm Mckeesport, I pass on this down. Who is
Lo-
thinking?
Logan just said pick 6 about 5 seconds ago.
Well, no, I'm not saying I would hope Plum would intercept it, but there is no one on Plum's team right now that is thinking that this ball is going to be in the air. It's totally thinking run. They're running out of the. Do they have the bunch formation? No, they have. Oh, they are going 2 wide receivers.
They
are
do have their
spread.
best cover corner out there, Philip Marr to the left on McKeesport's top receiver, Jordan Payne. They are going to run with Sutton. And he is not going to get enough. Good stop by the Mustang defense. Just makes it all the more interesting coming up on this next drive for the Mustangs. Sutton only gets a gain of 2. It'll be a 4th down and 5 coming up for the Tigers. Under 9 minutes and 40 seconds now remaining in the 4th.
And Jake, their punter is going to have to watch his foot back here because he's going to be near the back of the end zone.
Now, if you remember, their punter is also the quarterback, Taiwan Smith. He is hurt. So Justice Smith is now in the game, and he had a sky punt of only around a net of 15 yards. And that's a more decent kick. That'll take a bounce. Crossy will pick it up, not get much. He'll be dragged back. Forward progress will mark him at the 42-yard line. But again, Mustangs have great field position.
You know
and
what?
now flags after the play. I did not see what happened.
I did. I saw it exactly.
Took a swing
Phil-
right at
yeah,
Phil's face.
Phil Marr took a swing before they blew the whistle. That should be a penalty on Phil. I don't think the referee saw it, and the Mckeesport player retaliated. So it'd be interesting to see which way this goes.
And the head official's talking to Coach Matt Morgan, but it is going to be a penalty on Mckeesport.
That's Phil drew that penalty big time.
It is a
Phil-
15-yard penalty from the end of the run, barring a cancellation penalty.
And that's just discipline again. 1, it's a 15-yard penalty. Moves us closer to the end zone. 2, that probably hurt his hand more than it hurt Phillip because he got him right in the helmet.
Exactly.
Plum is now up at the 31-yard line. There's 9 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Mark it at the 30 now. Plum needs most likely a touchdown on this drive to get themselves back in the game, make it a one-possession game. We're going to have a stoppage in play. It's an official's timeout.
He's coming over to talk to Coach Morgan right now. You know what? He could be warning both benches right now. If Spud can get that, you can see the head official talking to Coach Morgan right there on the 39-yard line.
Surprised there wasn't some type of ejection there for taking a swing.
I think he's just had enough. Guys, and this is exactly how the Penguin game last
Absolutely.
night.
Exactly.
We came home from our Make-A-Wish dinner last night went. When I came home and saw the end of the second period, it just became really chippy. The referees just let the game get away, and there was a lot of cheap shots.
Yeah, talk about it.
And that's
Hard-nosed.
exactly, I'm sorry, Jake, it's exactly what the referee's doing. If Nick can get the head referees, he's going over now to the opposite 39-yard line, and he's talking to Coach George Smith right now, and he's probably saying, you know what, in all honesty, next time something like this happens, your player's ejected. I'm just tossing.
Well, that's what happened after. Go ahead, Logan. What were you going to say?
Or another game that you can look at with this one has been a lot like was the Steelers-Ravens game, the most recent
yes.
one. A
Oh,
lot of
Yeah,
chippy
here we
plays
go.
in that one. A
Fines
lot of
dished out.
penalties, fines.
Dished out today. Terrell Suggs and any other nameable players. Terrell Suggs, I believe, got $9,000 in fines today.
I didn't hear.
Yeah.
And also, just as a reference, James Harrison got fined $100,000 for rejoining the NFL after not being in the league after so long. They find ways to fine James Harrison, who had a great game, by the way, last week. But going back to that Penguin game, Mr. Brott, you saw Dustin Bufflin, the defenseman for the Winnipeg Jets, just thrash, and that's a joke right there to the Atlanta Thrashers, thrash Steve Downey after Downey scored his goal last night. He was later ejected. Fuhrer fakes the screen. He stays on his feet, goes to the end zone. He has Teeter
He's getting
incomplete.
held.
Let him get to the ball.
He's getting held big time.
Looked like a washout right there, but right now they'll say good coverage by Mark Cromartie. Mustangs go deep on first down and 10. It's now second down and 10 from the 30.
And Jake, going back to what you said about James Harrison, it just didn't seem right seeing him in a Bengals uniform. And orange and black didn't look good on him. It was always been black and gold, and that's the way it has to be.
Yeah, because he never got any suspensions or fines.
Exactly, right?
Mustangs going with 5 wide, including Nick Coxon, who is the slot receiver closest to Fuhrer on the right. Here's the snap. Fuhrer to throw.
Now.
Has time. He's in trouble.
Oh
It's going to
my
be a sack
God.
flag on the
Flag.
play as well. Sack
be
right there
holding.
going to be from Joseph Krim. Going to be a holding on the Mustangs, actually. We'll see what George Smith decides to do here.
I think he's going to move him back, guys.
Yeah.
Replay it down.
Because Plum has proven, at least in George Smith's eyes, that they've struggled to move the ball all night. So he's going to push them out of that red zone territory, push him back 10 yards, and rely on his defense.
They're still walking back.
Yeah,
And
from
that-
the spot of the foul.
On the foul, 10-yard penalty, backs Plum up to the 46.
So it'll be second and 26.
Got to get at least, hopefully, 15 or 16 of that back.
The good news here is it's second down. They have
Yeah.
3 plays to get 26 yards. We have a stoppage in play.
Oh, what?
Wait.
This 25-second clock is showing 0. I don't know if called a timeout. I might have started that
Yeah.
early.
Coach Morgan was pushing his hand up in the motion that they should reset the clock, and they're going to, I believe, are just going to say the play clock is inoperable, so they'll give hand signals to Fuhrer and the rest of the Mustang offense in terms of the play clock. Fuhrer to throw.
Ow.
He's going to get hit, and it's deflected, incomplete. That was a deflection right there, getting on the line by number 30, Davon Brown.
Just
Good play, third down 26. Sorry, Mr. Brown.
No, I'm sorry. McKeesport's front 5 there. It's just put tremendous pressure on Will. So, I mean, Coach Freilich seems a little upset at the sideline, but I mean, when you rush 5 and there's only 5 or 6 blocking, I mean, Will just has no time.
And we've seen 2 of the interceptions were deflected by the defensive line. And they have just played outstanding today. As there's that deflection there in that last one. They've been getting in, and they've been putting their hands up and just doing anything a defensive coach wants them to do.
Low snap
the
for
Will.
Fuhr. He's in trouble. It's going to be a sack for the Tigers. First one there is Joseph Krim with his second sack of the drive.
Has to punt. Plum has to punt. They're going to put themselves in a position where they're going to have to score in their last 2 possessions of the game. There's no doubt now. They just totally went backwards on that possession.
And not good news is Fuhr's shoulder pad on his right side is right now out of his sleeve of the jersey, but he is not moving that right arm
At all.
We'll monitor him right now, but Michael Anderson in the punt right now, who had a great punt last time that backed Mckeesport up to the 1-yard line. Here's a snap.
Nearly
And
blocked.
it's a sky punt. It will bounce to the 28.
28.
Good job by Anderson to get the punt off. Mckeesport will start from their own 28. 7 minutes, 37 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Mckeesport Tigers 20, Plum Mustangs 5.
Jake, if they could find some way to force a turnover here, that would just make a huge momentum swing.
And Mckeesport already has 1 fumble on the day, so we'll see what happens right here for the Mustangs defense. It is silent on this side of the stands, which is the Mustang stands right now. As it's going to be a handoff for Cromarty. Cromarty doesn't get much.
And then again,
Actually,
more pushing and
forward.
shoving.
Forward progress marks him to the 32. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Clock now at 7 minutes, 20 seconds.
And taking.
It's frustrating from the defensive side of the football watching that clock go down, especially right now with the Mustangs being down 2 possessions.
2nd and 6. Now we're under 7 minutes to go in the game. Mustangs down to the Tigers, 20-5.
From the 32. Sutton keeps. Sutton up the middle. And Bill Irvin's going to meet him right there along with Turchik. Will be a 3rd down and 2 coming up for the Mckeesport Tigers. Last time on the 3rd down and short. Plum Mustang defense stopped the Tigers and forced them to punt. So now we'll see what they do here from the 36. Now it's 6 minutes and 28 seconds and counting here at Norwin High School. Winner of this game takes on the winner of the Pine Richland Altoona Victor, which is at Gateway High School tonight.
And the Rams beating the Mountain Lions 21-0.
That's in the 3rd quarter, as we know of right now. Sutton, handoff for Hudson. Not much. Mustang defense keeps the team in the game. Will lose a yard for Hudson, so it'll be 4th down and 3 now. And the Tigers should be forced to punt here.
Yeah, they come.
Yes, they are.
Have to punt.
And George Smith immediately, no hesitation, sends out the punt team, and Justice Smith, the new punter in the game. 5:40 and counting. Mustangs should get the ball back with around 5 minutes, 10 seconds.
Now the 2nd shot clock is reading 0, so that's the
And
game.
that's a high punt. Will bounce Plum's way to the 41, down by number 24, Ray Zellers. Plum will start at the 41 with 5:21 remaining. Down 2 scores, 20-5.
I'd have to run. I think you got to, in your arsenal, you have to call that screen pass. I think you take the chance.
That, or I wouldn't be surprised to see some type of vertical post route down the middle of the field.
I've not seen a pass completed to Patrick Crossy tonight, I believe. Is that correct, Jake?
Yes.
And how many to Ashton Teeter? as
1.
well? One.
Teetered is wide right as we speak. Patrick Crossy
Trips to the left.
Yeah, Fuhrer only has 5 completions, 3 of them to Jason Hubner. Fuhrer over the middle. Pass is completed to Teeter. To the 45, forward progress marks him for a 4-yard gain. Be 2nd down and 6.
They do have to can't huddle very long 'cause we're under 5 minutes. Granted, the clock does stop on first down.
And they are going to go no huddle here, Mr. Barades.
Well, it's a quick huddle. They
Yeah,
actually
quick
did
huddle.
And Will looking a little Peyton Manning-esque here, calling out the audibles. Well, not necessarily audibles.
Second and 6 from the 45. Fear of pressure. Going to go deep, and it's going to be overthrown for Ashton Tier. Trying to go deep there. There was pressure right there from Davon Brown, who has just done a fantastic job for the Mckeesport Tigers defense so far. It's going to force a Plum 3rd down and 6.
And you know what? Will had time there, but he's been getting hit all night. So he released that ball a second or two too early, which is why he overshot Ashton Teeters there. So 3rd and 6, obviously 2-down territory. I guess the 25-second clock must be broke since it's reading 0-0. That's probably a benefit to the Tigers.
Crossing in motion to the left. Again, he does not have a catch tonight. Pressure. Screenplay. Good call, Mr. Barades. Coxon is short a yard.
Short about a yard.
This will set up a 4th down and 1. And you hate to say it right now, but the Mustang season is on the line right now with this play from the 50. We're now at 4 minutes, 15 seconds left. Mustangs need a yard to extend the game and extend their season.
I don't know if you guys can see it here, but Will's still babying that right shoulder a little bit. As he's running over
Mustangs
the sideline.
going in the
Sorry, Jake.
pistol. Coxon's in the backfield. They only need a yard for the 1st down. It's 4th and 1. Handoff, Coxon. 1st down, Mustangs to the 46.
And the clock does stop. So Plum will have a chance at a quick huddle. Will right now quickly is going over to Coach Morgan. Getting hand signals.
And right now they're just going straight no huddle, Mr. Barades. We're getting hand signals from the sideline as there's now 3:45 and counting to go. It's still Mckeesport 20, Plum 5. Plum is at the 46-yard line and moving the ball pretty well so far.
Now.
Führer pressure,
God.
trying to get it away, and he does. Good play by Führer. Coxon was in the vicinity,
And
so
he
that's
was, I'm sorry, Jake, he was out of the tackle
Yep.
box also. So it does stop the clock, but the clock continues to move. Wow.
and we have a problem that the clock is still running after the incomplete pass.
Stop that clock's been running it was at least it's
3:22. Yep.
Yes.
They will have to reset this. The refs have their own clock down there, too, in case of a clock malfunction. So there should be 3 minutes, 22 seconds. I mean,
Minimum. That's when I looked up at the clock. So.
these guys should be on top of it. I mean, this is a big deal quarterfinal playoff game. Hopefully we can wake up the scoreboard operator down there, get him some coffee, because this game is not over yet. Clock should be at 3:22.
At least.
And
Yep.
there we go.
There, 3:22, Jake. Might be the only time you and I have been right all year, Jake.
I think you're right there, Mr. Bront. Yeah, clock will stop and not restart after that. Almost like a spike on that last play. It's
Sure,
now
absolutely.
2nd down and 10 from the 46. Again, it's 4-down territory for the Mustangs. Uh-oh.
Come on.
It'll be a legal snap, actually, because Trends could not get that snap back. Looked like he kind of got stuck in the turf. So now it'll be a 2nd and 15.
Ugh.
So now, that clock should not have started on that false start. But Mustangs lose 2 seconds there. It's now 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the 4th. Again, our score is Mckeesport 20, Plum 5. Low snap again for Führer. Pressure. Fakes the screenplay. Interception. Führer tried to shovel it off. Pressure right there from Justice Smith. And the interception is going to come by number 25, Josiah Allen.
And that's just deflating there, Jake.
And that right there may hurt the Mustangs' chances of coming back in this ball game. as the Mustang crowd below us is dispersing a little bit, as Mckeesport can run this clock out here. Plum can stop it twice, as Matt Morgan will probably do. Use his timeouts, utilize them, and try to get the ball back again for the Mustangs. There's a late addition to the Mckeesport line. Flag on the play.
Delay game.
Good call, Zach. It is going to be a delay of game on Mckeesport. Back them up 5 yards. It is quiet here. Wolfier, he will tell you himself, not one of his best days. He has 4 interceptions. It's a career high for Will Fuhrer in his second ever playoff game as a starting quarterback for the Mustangs.
First coming last week.
And it will be, right now, barring a Plum miracle comeback, his last playoff game at the varsity level. Sutton will keep. Sutton to the outside at the 40. Timor Sutton at the 30. At the 20, Patrick Crossy will run him out of bounds at the 17-yard line. And right now, guys, we got to give our player to the night to Timor Sutton, who has been running all over the Mustang defense so far tonight and moves them into the red zone as the deflating feeling right now magnifies after that run by Sutton.
As it looks like, guys, that Plum will finish the season 6-5, which
Winning
that
season.
record, I believe, is absolutely positively deceiving, as close games to the Altoona Mount Lions, the North Hills Indians,
And to the Penn Trafford
and
Warriors
Penn
as well.
Trafford Warriors were right there for the Mustangs to take, but you have to give credit where credit is due. The Mustangs had an excellent football season. Officially ended their losing streak with the extra game last year against Greensburg-Salem on a Wednesday night. We were at that game in Hempfield, end of August, 7-7 early on. And sure enough, Plum turned around and put 42 points on the board, and they haven't looked back all year. And the season was a success after winning against Hempfield, the Hempfield Spartans that night, and then to make the playoffs, and then to beat your biggest rival, the Penn Hills Indians, in the first round of the playoffs. This season has been nothing but a success, and I'm very proud to say that the Mustangs have had an excellent season, and proud to say that they've had an enjoyable experience with you guys calling the games. Looking forward to continuing that with Logan Carney next year, and I guess we'll have to bring along my son also, Zach.
If he wants to.
Future broadcaster in the making, but there's 2:19 left to go now in the game. Tigers with a 20-5 lead, 2nd and 8, ball on the 15-yard line of the Mustangs. And you know, looking on the field, guys, and I see 11 Mustangs, and just counting the players on the field, not counting the ones that are injured, Plum is under 40 healthy players. So this is actually pretty incredible to make it to the quarterfinals of a playoff game against the Mckeesport Tigers, and Plum only down by 2 scores.
Backup quarterback in the game for Mckeesport, it will be number 15, Javon Shears. Shears keeps it, not much.
And Plum, no, Coach Morgan will call timeout. No, he's going to let the clock go. We're under 2 minutes left to go here in the game. 3rd and 7. Of course, Mckeesport will take their time. There's no reason to rush.
Mr. Barat, looking ahead to next week, you got to think these referees will be looking at this chippiness of this game and see if that could carry over to their next game and how they could officiate a little bit better.
You got Penn Trafford in a good shootout game against the North Allegheny Tigers, but
looks like it will be the Mckeesport Tigers going up against Pine Richland Rams. So that's a 1 versus 4 matchup. And then on the other side, if Trafford does pull out the victory, you'll have a 2 versus 3 with the Penn Trafford Warriors going up against Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings. So the WPIALL Football Pairings Committee couldn't ask for anything better if the top 4 seeds make their way through. Still waiting for scores, but regardless, whether it's Penn Trafford or North Allegheny, boy, 2 big heavyweight battles next week, guys. And unfortunately, Plum won't be there, but still very successful season as most of the student body and the fans on the Plum side have left with 128 left to go, 4th and 8. Probably will see the Tigers. I doubt they'll kick it here. They'll probably go for it, and Plum will have a possession left to try to do something. But you have to give credit where credit's due. The Tigers' defensive line, tremendous with the amount of pressure they put on Will Fuhr tonight.
More notably, Davon Brown and Tyron Bynum with tips at the line of scrimmage, and Kalik Hudson and the rest of the people who's had 4 interceptions tonight by the Tigers on quarterback Will Fuhr. Sutton keeps it on 4th down. He'll be stopped. Mustangs force a turnover. That's the 3rd turnover by the Mckeesport Tigers tonight. Plum will get the ball back with 1:21. We are proud to bring these broadcasts to you every week, and we could not ask for a better team, a better season, a better coach this year. And it's been fun bringing you these broadcasts, and we wish nothing but the best to all the seniors as they move on past high school in their careers. We'd like to thank our stat guys always for being with us up in the booth.
Always have a laugh with them up here.
Fuhr will be in the pistol, and he will hand off to, I believe, Coxon. Leaps ahead to the 24. Sorry there, Mr.
Sorry,
Brunt.
no, I apologize, Jake. I said Plum does have 1 timeout left, but we're under a minute now. I think Coach Morgan kind of set that, barring some sort of miraculous play, that Plum will go down to the Tigers 20-5 tonight, as they will probably only have to run 1, maybe 2 more plays.
Jake, I want to congratulate you as well on another great season, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Richie. Unfortunately, then as a broadcaster, you kind of root for this team as you watch them go on, and unfortunately, this team will lose in this round. But it's a fake, and Fuhr will keep it himself. Fuhr has some room, stays on his feet to the 40, gets hit hard, stays on his feet, and gets out of bounds to the 44-yard line. That is Fuhr's longest carry of the season at 21 yards. First down for the Mustang. Clock's stopped at 32 seconds.
And Jake, I also want to mention here for you, this is barring anything amazing. This is going to be your last broadcast at Plum High School, buddy.
Yes, it will be. I probably will bring a couple wrestling matches from the high school, but this will be probably my last broadcast. Make sure to stay tuned for our basketball broadcast as Turchik gets the carry up the middle to the 48-yard line, and that might be it.
And as the only junior on this broadcasting team, I like to personally thank all the seniors for helping me out through my first year, especially you, Jake. You did a great job, and I like to hope that you go on to a great broadcasting career, because you definitely are probably the best broadcaster I've ever actually met in person.
I appreciate that, Logan. Thank you. As handshakes and hugs are.
You met Mike Clark last
I say you
night.
met Mike Clark.
Well,
Jake, that's saying a lot, Jake.
I'm a Channel 2 guy. What can I say?
Well,
Don't let him watch this.
I do want to give the quick shout out to Mike, and unfortunately, Mike, we're unable to say the Mustangs gallop to another victory, as it's been a fantastic season to bring you Mustang football. Welcome to the Coca-Cola postgame report, our final football Coca-Cola postgame report. Final score from Norwin High School: Plum Mustangs fall to the 5th seeded Mckeesport Tigers 20-5. Plum finishes with a record of 6-5. Mckeesport will go on to play the number 1 seeded Pine Richland Rams next week. Site and time to be determined. Plum loses twice this year at the hands to the Tigers. Tough game tonight, been plagued by the interceptions and the turnovers. Guys, a great season, and Mr. Barat, your thoughts on tonight's defeat?
Like I just said a couple minutes ago, it was unfortunately not the ending we wanted to see happen. Great season by the Mustangs, and they can only go forward from here. And I'm very proud to have broadcasted this year's games and looking forward to Coach Morgan and the entire coaching staff. And they have a huge following now, once again, as it should be. So looking forward to another great year next year. And it was a great season this year, and we'll miss all these seniors.
Mr. Barat, thank you for always taking us to these games as well. We gave your big formal thank you on senior night at home, but we do appreciate the road games and doing these 2 playoff games with us. Richie, your thoughts on tonight's defeat by the Mustangs?
Jake, I don't want to look at this one game to define the entire season. They've played phenomenal this year. You know that. I've known that. Everybody that's ever watched a Plum Mustang football game this year knows that. These guys can't walk off this field with their heads down. They got to keep their heads up and play well. Play well next year. Obviously, we're going to miss some of the seniors. You know, Will, Phillip, Nate Turchik, but we have Jake Chaplin, Matt Goodland. They'll be fine next year.
Logan, I just want to thank you for being with us this season, and good luck next season as I'll be watching your progress. On behalf of the Plum TV crew, I could thank everybody up here on behalf of Mr. Rick Barat, Logan Carney, Nick Spudzatovich, Richie Rossi. I'm Jake Matolo saying goodbye from Norwin High School. Make sure to be with us for all basketball games. Good night. Thanks for a great season, guys.